Hello, dear friends. I hope you're doing really well. Let's continue reading. I made a mistake yesterday. I thought yesterday was Friday, but no, today is Friday. So let's keep reading. We are in the book of Numbers, chapter 31. This was a difficult chapter because it's about war, about the vengeance that the Lord has commanded Israel to do this, to take a vengeance on the Midianites. So Israel they killed every male, and they got a lot of women prisoners of war, and also they, as a result of this, they got a lot of cattle, a lot of sheep and ox, and a lot of stuff. We're gonna see. Okay, so I'm gonna start on verse 19, and Moses is speaking. Okay, Moses is speaking to the people, to the soldiers, the people that have fought this battle, this war. And you camp outside the camp 7 days. Whoever has killed any person and whoever has touched any slain, purify yourselves, you and your captives, on the third day and on the seventh day. You shall purify for yourselves every garment and every article of leather, and all the work of goat's hair, and all articles of wood. Then Eleazar the priest said to the men of war who had gone to battle, "This is the statute of the law which the Lord has commanded Moses. Only the gold and the silver, the bronze, the iron, the tin, and the lead, everything that can stand the fire, you shall pass through the fire, and it shall be clean, but it shall be purified with water for impurity. But whatever cannot stand the fire, you shall pass through the water. And you shall wash your clothes on the seventh day and be clean, and afterward you may enter the camp." Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "You and Eleazar the priest and the heads of the fathers' households of the congregation take account of the booty that was captured, both of man and of animal, and divide the booty between the warriors who went out to battle and all the congregation. Levy a tax for the Lord from the men of war who went out to battle, 1 in 500 of the persons, and of the cattle, and of the donkeys, and of the sheep. Take it from their half and give it to Eleazar the priest as an offering to the Lord. From the sons of Israel's half you should take one, drawn out of every 50 of the persons, of the cattle, of the donkeys, and of the sheep, from all the animals, and give them to the Levites who keep charge of the tabernacle of the Lord. So from the booty, because there's been this vengeance, this war, and Israel has gotten this booty, which is a lot of sheep and cattle and gold and stuff. So from the cattle, half of the booty for the soldiers, the warriors that went to fight, and half of the booty for the congregation. But everybody has to give something from the booty, has to make an offering to the Lord. In the case of the soldiers, is one of every 500 sheep of cattle they give to the Lord. For the congregation, one of every 50 they have to give to the Lord. Okay. Moses and Eleazar the priest did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Now, all this is like mathematics, okay? Now, the booty that remained from the spoil which the men of war had plundered was 675,000 sheep, and 72,000 cattle, and 61,000 donkeys, and of human beings, of the women who had not known man intimately, all the persons were 32,000. The half, the portion of those who went out to war, was as follows. The number of sheep was 337,500, and the Lord's levy of the sheep was 675. That's one of 500. And the cattle were 36,000, from which the Lord's Levi was 72. That's 1 of 500. And the donkeys were 30,500, from which the Lord's Levi was 61, was 1 of 500. And the human beings were 16,000, from whom the Lord's Levi was 32 persons. 1 of 500, bro. Moses gave the Levi, which was the Lord's offering, to Eleazar the priest, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. As for the sons of Israel's half, like I said, that's a congregation which Moses separated from the men who had gone to war. Now, the congregation's half was 337,500 sheep and 36,000 cattle and 30,500 donkeys, and the human beings were 16,000. And from the sons of Israel's half, Moses took one drawn out of every 50, both of man and of animals, and gave them to the Levites, who kept charge of the tabernacle of the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So in the case of the congregation, they had to give the offering to the Lord, one of every 50. The congregation, the warriors, no, the warriors was the soldiers had to give 1 of 500, the congregation 1 of 50. Then the officers who were over the thousands of the army, the captains of thousands and the captains of hundreds, approached Moses. And they said to Moses, "Your servants have taken a census of men of war who are in our charge, and no man of us is missing." So it means that nobody died, right? No soldier of Israel died in this vengeance. So we have brought as an offering to the Lord what each man found: articles of gold, armlets and bracelets, signet rings, earrings and necklaces, to make atonement for ourselves before the Lord. So they're giving an off. They're bringing all the gold, silver, jewelry that they found, and they're giving it to the Lord. Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold from them, all kinds of wrought articles, all the gold of the offering which they offer up to the Lord from the captains of thousands and the captains of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. The men of war had taken booty, every man for himself. So Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold from the captains of thousands and of hundreds and brought it to the tent of meeting as a memorial for the sons of Israel before the Lord. So they gave what they found, right? I don't know if they gave everything or if they gave up a percentage. So we have brought as an offering to the Lord. They have given everything. They gave everything of what they found, of gold and silver and jewelry that they found in the camp of Midian, right? So it's interesting, all the mathematics of the booty, how they divided everything between the captains, the warriors, and the congregation, and they had to give a little. They had to give some of that to the Lord. 1 of 500 for the soldiers and 1 of 50 for the congregation. So that's pretty much it. Even though I know, you probably know already that Midian, this is not the end of the Midianites. We're going to see in the book of Judges, the people of Midian are still there, and there's so many of them, and they are enemies of Israel still in the book of Judges. So I don't know what happened here, because I don't know what happened. Anyways, but next chapter, now we're getting close to the end of the book of Numbers. We know Israel is about to enter the promised land. They're already conquering, and they already have conquered 3 kingdoms of the Canaanites, and they're fighting. They're about to cross the promised land. God has already told Moses, pretty soon you're going to go with your people. That means that he's going to die. So very close to enter the promised land, and we'll continue hopefully on Monday, God willing. Bye-bye.